So you do your check it real quick on your phone, or we can use my phone to check.
No, I have it. Mine is open.
You have two phones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Which one are you on? Okay, let me see which Facebook page I'm on. And on this one, yes, good. So here we are live. See? Okay, I'm going to go back. And
Right on time.
yes. So I'll have to be on this for a while, because if anybody joins through Zoom, then I will not know here. So here we are. Someone is already watching us. Hi there, whoever is on, we will start soon. Stay connected with us, and we are going to soon be live. We're just waiting for people to join if they would like to join on Zoom. Otherwise, we will be talking soon. So thank you for joining, and I wish I could see who has joined. I see someone has joined. Let me see, okay? Okay, I'm not able to see this.
How do you know it's not you?
No, it's you and me are already here.
Right, but
And
you're
then
joining on your phone.
no, it shouldn't be me.
Okay.
Okay, live chat, if someone is joining, then okay, that's fine. Okay. Hello, friends. Good afternoon. If you have joined us through Facebook, you're more than welcome. And if you are trying to join through Zoom, the Zoom link is sent on Facebook, in your email, in your text messages. So please join through your Zoom, and I might have to let you in. As soon as I see the alert, I will let you in. Today, we are going to talk to a cancer survivor, and I am excited to talk to her because, as you all know, whenever any of us hear anything cancer, it just brings us down. It's always a scary thing to hear. But I met this wonderful lady, Leslie, and she is a cancer survivor. And when I continuously saw her, and every time I see her, I am amazed, because being a trooper is a wonderful thing, but always showing yourself happy and upcoming, and you are facing what you're going through with great courage is a different thing. So we are going to talk to her a little bit about how she felt, how she found out about her cancer, what she did to survive in this vigilant and brilliant way, that smiley face. And can you tell any of you, can you see her and tell her she's a cancer survivor? She's wonderful. And she went through everything just like any cancer survivor. She had her chemo, she had her radiation, correct? And she did go through a lot, just like anybody else, you know, having a port on. It's not easy. Just a thought of it gives me chills sometimes. But I am really happy that she wants to talk a little bit about her journey and what she did, how she survived, and how she felt. And this might help many of you or your friends and family if they are going through the same phase that she went through. So welcome, Leslie. Thank you for coming to Naurang Expressions. And I'm so happy to have you here. And hope, if you guys are not hearing, because I'm not having my headphones on today. So if you can't hear me, or if you cannot hear Leslie, please do let us know, comment, and let us know that you're not able to hear us, and we will definitely make sure that we make some adjustments on the volume. So Leslie, tell us more about how did you find out, and how was your journey so far?
So honestly, I don't want to get emotional because I might, so just bear with me. When I first started seeing Smita, I just came because I do a lot of alternate therapies. I go to acupuncture, I do Reiki, a lot of energy work. So it's not uncommon for me to, I was very intrigued when I saw her webpage, what was this about? And I just thought, okay, that fits into things that I really like to do. So I came to her, basically my chief complaint was that I wasn't feeling well. I felt tired often, and I thought something must be amiss in my body. So I had no idea that I had cancer. Smita tells me that, in talking about this much after the fact, okay, because she didn't want to scare me during this, but she does tell me now, present day, that she knew something, that I probably had that, but of course, we had to get to the bottom of this. So when I first started seeing you, I think I saw you like once a week.
Yes.
Because I mean, honestly, who doesn't want to have their foot massaged? It feels really, really, really good. So, it was very intriguing for me when she presses on certain spots in my hands and my feet, and you have pain, she would explain to me the whole time what was going on, like where those points were in my body and how they corresponded to certain spots here. Like, for instance, this is your breast and your lungs and your heart in this whole area here. So when I first started coming to Smita, she would put seeds on me.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, there's rice on my hand. Like, seriously, like, I believe in these kind of things, but I'm just telling you, like, I really was like, oh, okay, there's rice on my hands. Well, I started seeing her in July, and then in October of 2020, I was in the shower one day, and I'm not kidding you. The day before, everything was fine. Towards the end of October, I was washing, and sure enough, I was like, what is that? What is that lump? So I found that lump myself. Smita and her seeds and the therapies that she was doing on me actually brought that tumor to the surface, because I had no idea. I did not go get a mammogram. I didn't do anything. There's no family history in my family at all of cancer. No one has ever had it. And this is where I get emotional, because really, if it wasn't for the fact that I was seeing Smita, I probably would still not even know that I had that tumor in my body. So I am very blessed and very lucky to have come across Smita, because she literally brought that tumor to the surface. So that's, I apologize.
No, it's fine.
apologize,
It's fine. I should have
It's
had
just so
some.
important. Like,
Yes.
I'm just so grateful, and she knows how I feel about this, because honestly. So then I saw her. What does that mean? Is someone asking a question?
Oh no, she's not.
Okay. So then I continued to see her. Well, I got formally diagnosed then, and then, went to the doctor and checked on all this, and then was formally diagnosed with cancer. So, luckily it was stage 2. So I was able to go through chemotherapy for 6 rounds. And then in January, I started that January of last year. And then I continued chemo through May. And then in June, I had surgery. I had a lumpectomy. So I was able to keep my breast, and they got all the cancer, and then I had radiation until August. So it's been quite a journey. I have done during this whole thing, I would come see Smita like always right after I had any chemotherapy. She would treat me immediately. It would take a day and a half, 2 days for me to start to feel the effects of it. So she would treat me right after my chemos always to help lessen the severity of those, because it's really it's rough if you don't know anybody who's, it feels like you got hit with a truck. I mean, it's bad. It's like the worst flu you would ever have, like times 50. So a lot of what she did was again with the seed therapy. And I mean, she would even, when I didn't have hair, she would massage my hair with oil and give me like head massages to calm everything down, and then help me like stimulate the hair growth too, because obviously I didn't have hair for quite some time. She still gives me a head massages, which again, no one would ever deny a head massage. Right?
Yes, yes, yes.
I like it. I don't care if my hair is long. She do it anytime. So we did that, and we did.
So before we move forward, I would like to know a little bit of that, when I started seeing you in around June or July, and then do you remember, I would you have gone for your mammogram if I did not have insisted?
No, no. I didn't go for a mammogram because there was no history in my family. And then it was COVID. And then I was just like, well, I'm not going to the hospital when it's COVID. So she just kept saying, I really think you should go see your doctor. I really think you should go see your doctor. And I was like, okay, like, again, I didn't think anything was wrong with me.
Right. So basically, guys, I just want to let you guys know the reason I was forcing her was generally when a therapist, an alternative healer is working on you, and if they are quite a bit understanding of what is going on in your body, they would definitely guide you to work with your doctor in conjunction with the therapy that they are giving. The reason is most of us alternate healers, we are not doctors. We don't have ways to prescribe you guys to go and get a blood work done, or get your mammogram done, or get your MRI or scan done. So if your healer or your therapist is asking you to do something, please do go and get it done. There might be something that they might be feeling that your body needs to catch it faster than later. Okay. So that is something that we were lucky to have that, and I'm thankful because despite of she coming and telling me every time, the only thing that, after working, she would feel better. But the only thing I was insisting on is going to her doctor. And I was, every time when I tell her that, I was not sure she will come back the next week, but she continued coming. So that is, thank you to you. So that is one thing I wanted to know, that was something I was wondering, like you wouldn't have gone to your doctor if I was not insisting on it. So,
although I have to say, my doctor, I would go for my annual visits and stuff like that. And he would tell me, you need to get a mammogram. And they would call, and I just didn't do it because I wasn't worried about it. So I have to say, they were telling me.
Yes. And your insurance company, they send you reminders. They tell you something. But when your therapist tells you something, it may not be mammogram. It may be something else. For guys, I'm going to tell you right here, a lot of you guys don't think you get breast cancer. You do. You don't get prostate gland infections or prostate gland issues. You do. So if your doctor, if your therapist is telling you to get checked out, please do. The only thing will happen is they will say everything is fine, and that's okay, right? That's wonderful. That if you find nothing, that's wonderful. But many times when a therapist or a healer is finding something and consistently asking you to do so, is because probably they are seeing something in the future coming to your body, something deep inside. And that is why I'm just reiterating it, that if your therapist or healer consistently tells you to go to see a doctor or get something checked out, is the reason is they are not going to tell you what they feel or what they see, because that is not something they can diagnose, but they definitely know there is something that you will be saved from big hassle. So you should go and get it done. So that's important. So as you were going through your chemo and your radiation, tell us a little bit more about how did alternate healing help? And I know you didn't just come to me, but you had other healers that were helping you, and because as you mentioned in the beginning that you do believe in alternate healing. So tell us a little bit more about what do you suggest.
Mainly during my chemotherapy, I mainly did see you.
Okay.
Because I didn't go to during this time I was changing acupuncture, and I have a new person, so I didn't have her when I was sick. So it really was just Smita, because I really just, the more that I saw her, and obviously the fact of how I'm telling you that we found this, I really just believed so much in this work, and the proof was in what I was experiencing. So from the therapy, that I just was like, I'm only gonna, I wanted to minimize, because at this point I was going to doctors all the time anyway for all of this stuff. So I really only saw you during that time.
Okay.
And it really did help, because I would be very, very, very sick. And so she would help me by just making sure that what her treatments were doing was easing the symptoms that I was experiencing from the chemotherapy. So to lessen what it was doing for my body, to keep my, points that she would do to keep my kidneys functioning well, and my liver able to detoxify what was coming at me from the chemicals that they give you for this, So
right, and that was the biggest goal. And actually, there are a lot of facts out there, research out there, that they have proven any chemo and radiation that a patient goes through, they do benefit from therapeutic reflexology for sure. Of course, luckily, I am a therapeutic reflexologist, but I'm also an acupressure therapist. So I can help in two different ways. I can target the areas and make it more beneficial for someone who's going through such kind. Now, did you also go through, because I know a lot of chemo and radiation patient who are taking this, they go through neuropathy.
Oh, that's right, my neuropathy.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes, I totally had neuropathy from this as a side effect. And I was very concerned, because I also, of course, belong to groups on Facebook for, breast cancer women and things like this. So I would read a lot of what others have been through in this and on this support page. But you can have where it won't go away, and people have it forever. So I was very concerned about that, because I did have neuropathy. And she would take this like a beauty roller, if you will, like you see them on, I got it because of her on Amazon. It's like it's a roller, like they make them in jade, and then it's got these little nubs on it. And so she would take it and she would rub it across my forehead. And again, like seriously, I'm like, okay, if this is gonna work, it works. So she said she was doing research, and it's a German technique that she said that they found very successful. So, and it has to be done in a certain way. You can't just like, let me go roll my head. But she knows the way it is. But she would take this roller and roll it across my head. And I'm not kidding you. I think, how many times did we do that? Probably 6, maybe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. 6 times. It's gone. I mean, I would have it where it was in my hands and my feet, and primarily and mostly in my fingertips. You know, and you can't feel when you're picking something up, you can't feel, or you don't know when you're getting things, like you can't feel it. So it was it's just annoying, you know, like you want to be back to yourself where you can do this and feel it, you know.
Yes.
And
So I did
when you
use,
walk too,
yes.
you know.
Yes, so I did use German technique and the Japanese technique called the PNST on you, where remember I used to poke,
Oh, yeah.
the poking.
Yes.
The
That is not
poking.
exactly the most, it doesn't hurt, but you know, just with this little precise, like pointed tool that she would use on me. But again, not unpleasant, but I mean, you know, she's doing her thing and I'm like, okay, you know.
Yes, but that did,
But it worked. I mean, it's gone. It's completely gone. And I was very concerned about that because again, my oncologist and that they're like, well, you know, sometimes it just takes time to go away and sometimes it doesn't. And it's just like, okay, again, here you go with, we're just going to see what it turns out for you, lady. Okay. Well, she really did help me with that because I was very worried about that.
And I know that I have heard other cancer patients. I have my aunt in my family who had cancer, and she was a survivor, of course, for almost 40 years, 45 years. But I know what they go through. So a little bit, I had an idea of what Leslie is going through. I had other two patients. They used to come from too far, but Leslie wanted to really talk to everyone. She really wanted to make sure, like, people out there, as she mentioned, that she's member in many in some groups where you can talk about this. They are cancer survivors or who are going through cancer, and I think you see them how they are feeling.
I think
So she wanted to talk a little bit about alternate healing.
And I think that like for me, you know, when Smita's right, when people say the word cancer, of course, I mean, I don't think that's like the worst dread of a health malady that you would hear. Nobody wants to hear that.
Right.
For me, I prefer to do things in a natural way if I don't have to take supplement, you know, I'd rather take supplements as opposed to a prescription, etc. But for this was too scary. So I did go with medicine, you know, medicine, because you have to get it out. And I'm a mom, I have girls, I have kids. I need to, you know, I need to get that out. The biggest thing I think is that I was able to get supplement with alternate therapy. Smita taught me how to breathe and take sequences of breaths that will help facilitate and bring oxygen into my body in the way that it's supposed to be. And she taught me mudras of, like, you know, if you don't feel, if your breathing is obstructed, you can go like this. And then within a few minutes.
Awesome, you remember you're doing it.
I do write it down. I have a little book that I like because I can't remember all these things.
Nice.
But if you do this and then in a few minutes, not even minutes, you will notice, like 90 seconds, that your breathing, your canals will open up and breathe better. Or I had a lot of heartburn during this because the chemo process itself is does that, makes you have heartburn. So she taught me that you go like this and you can sit there, you know, while you're doing whatever, or just for a few minutes, and then this will help calm that down. And she would also do color therapy on me too. For instance, like I got my port removed, and I'll show you here. There's a scar right there, and this is recent, it got removed. She would take a dark blue marker and then a black one, and those colors help heal wounds. And so and honestly, she's done it to me for other things, even just like a simple, you know, scratch, or like you scratched yourself and you got a little scab there. She does this and it goes away so much faster if you draw these colors. My husband's always like, what is wrong? It's all over your skin. I'm like, I'm not even going to go there. It works. So
yes, we had fun. We really enjoyed. I really enjoy when she comes, and then we have fun talks. And the fun thing is that I never felt I'm seeing a cancer patient when she was going through chemo, when she was coming after her radiation. And, and like I said, I don't believe that you cannot take medication. The reason why alternate healing helps is because eventually you will not need the medication. When you start taking medication which is needed, like she said, that she has to take prescriptions. There is nothing that she can not take prescriptions, because what we do works a little slower because it goes deep inside the body, right? Cancer is not something that comes out all of a sudden, right? Something that is slowly developing. So we all know there is something there in our body, and we need to remove those toxins out. And to remove, just like it builds slowly, it comes out slowly too. So when you're taking those prescription medicine, and if in conjunction we are working with the alternate healing, therapeutic reflexology, or acupressure, whichever you guys believe in, it helps the body to remove the toxins, separate it, and help the prescription for what it is targeted for. Usually, most of the prescriptions that we are taking are there. There is a reason, like, if you take ibuprofen, it's going to help you get away from the pain. But what happens is that most of the time, 10% is only the medication that's going to help you. But there are 90% that is having toxins that your body doesn't need. Not that it is toxins itself, but because your body doesn't need those chemicals. And that's why it becomes toxic to your body. And when you're doing alternate healing while you're taking ibuprofen, what is happening is those toxins are removed, but the ibuprofen, the painkiller, is working directly to the targeted point. And the same thing that she was doing. So other than this, do you recommend other alternate healing to people?
I strongly and firmly believe in meditation. I wasn't always as steadfast with it when I was sick, because some days you just don't, you don't feel good. You're lucky you can get out of bed. So, but now it is an immense part of my recovery. I do it every single day without fail. I start my day like that. They say that it takes 21 days to develop a habit. Whether that's going on a diet or eating better, maybe, or taking walks around the block, it is ingrained in 21 days. I am now past that point. I think I started at the end of January with this meditation and really putting a solid effort into it. I prefer I am meditations because you're declaring something for yourself. So it is a positive message. During my cancer, Smita will tell you, as soon as I heard this, I felt grateful. It may sound strange because I got to keep my breast, whereas that's not always the case. And I saw plenty of women and read about plenty of women that it broke my heart, what they went through, and so much worse than what I had. And mine was bad enough, so I was always really, really, really grateful, and always thought this could be so much worse. Like, that was always my thing, that I was very grateful. And I really remained positive because it's just my nature, I think. And plus, I didn't want my kids to see me like I didn't want them to have this memory etched in their brains that my mom was like, and really I was like that, but that was important to me, to do as much as I could to stay uplifted as best as I possibly could. I really truly think meditation has changed my life in such a profound way. I'm just different. As my energy healer, I saw her recently, and she said, your energy, you're softer. That's what she told me.
Yes.
Would you
I
agree
agree
with that?
I agree.
It's
You're
something
softer.
changed.
Yes, a lot of things changed from when I started seeing you. I saw you going through cancer. I saw you coming out of that. the last phase of your chemo and radiation and your hormonal changes and your hormonal whatever your doctors had given you, right? And then plus also she practices affirmations, right?
Yeah.
Affirmations. And the affirmations are always good, and that's what she's doing, right? Being grateful. So you need to be grateful, you need to show gratitude, thanking, forgiving, letting go, and feeling loved and love others. So those are 4 things that we have to say every day. Remember, we have to say it: thank you, I'm sorry, I forgive you, and I love you.
It's Ho'oponopono.
Yes, the Ho'oponopono,
which I did
yes.
do a lot of those meditations too, because honestly, I feel like they do say that with different types of cancer, there's a reason why it comes, and the breast is associated with things that we don't take care of ourselves as women. If you believe in that kind of thing. And there's also studies of like left versus right and what that signifies in your body too. So, I really had to get to a point where I had to do a lot of soul searching and go, what got me here? Like, what did I, for one, a lot of it was diet, but it was also hormonal for me. And we're still working on balancing. She helps me with therapy or techniques to help balance that, as well as my acupuncture. And I am now, today, I just started see a naturopath who's going to help me with that too, because I'm having a lot of effects from the hormones suppressants that they were giving me prescription wise. So we're going to try and do this a little bit differently. But I think it's really important to heal the whole body as a whole, and emotionally and physically.
Yes.
And that's, now I'm in the point where I'm trying to post the physical aspect of it. I'm trying to, this next phase, heal myself, whole body, mind, body, and soul.
Yes, and that is important. So one thing I also want to let you guys know before we start winding up, because we would definitely want Leslie to give us a parting message, what she would think and what message she would have for you all. I want to also let you guys know, soon in April, there will be a series that I will be talking about stress and stress management. And you guys will not believe, but stress can cause infinite number of things in our body. Everybody goes through stress, but everybody takes it in a very different way. So somewhere or the other, we are all taking stress, and we are not actually addressing it to get out of it. Stress is inevitable. That is, you cannot just tell people that, oh, I want my life to be smooth. The life is not going to be smooth, because the heartbeats are not smooth. That is how your echocardiograph shows, is up and down. It has to go up and down to show that you're alive. The minute the line is flat, meaning you're done, no more, you are here, right? So life is always going to bring you up and down, and that is the beauty of life. But to address it and to face it and to do the right thing at the right time is very important. And we will talk that in April, because stress is also related in many different ways for the things that happen to your body. And before I start just talking about me, today is Leslie's day, and I really want to thank Leslie for taking time, and she meant to come and speak to many, and she always talked to me about it, that I really like to talk to people. She tells people otherwise too, and that's how I thought of an idea of like, hey, why not we put it on our platform where it can reach many more. I have 500 followers plus on my other page, so I'm sure at least 500 people are seeing, and then if they forward to others, many others, because I think this is the time when we all should be there for each other. Do you have any message for people that you would like to give, like takeaway message from you?
I think it's important as people that we all take some time out to connect with ourselves. And however you want to do that, whether that's, taking a bath or spending time reading or just doing something that's for yourself on a daily basis. I think that's really, really important. And I think it's important to tap in and realize that when they say you feel it from your heart, or when you feel it in your gut, our bodies give us those tools so that we know there are little indicators. And so it's really important to be aware of that, because your body will tell you and guide you if you just tune in and listen to it.
Awesome. Which is very true. As many of you who come to me, that is the first thing I tell you guys: know your body. It talks to you. So keep listening to it. Okay. Thank you, guys. I know many of us are busy, and that is the reason why I do it with a recording. So you can watch it at your leisure. You can forward it at your leisure to your friends and family. So whoever couldn't join, and if you were planning to join but couldn't join, here is a recording. You will see the recording on Facebook. And if you need the recording, you can message me and I can pass it on to you if you don't have Facebook. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you so much, Leslie, for coming and joining and giving us your great experience about how your journey was.
Thank you for letting me share my journey with you all. Blessings to all of you. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Keep smiling, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy.